Today I just asked him to share a little bit about Premier and Elite, because I know I didn't even really know that those programs existed until I was probably like 3 or 4 months in. And had I known from the beginning, I think I could have gone towards them faster. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware. And then, Joe, if you have any tips, if you have any of your like best tips about recruiting, I'm sure our team would love to hear that too. So let's let you take it away.
Sure. All right. Well, Amber, thank you so much for having me on the call. It's awesome to be able to be on these calls with you guys, to be honest. And I appreciate all of you that are here on the call and taking time to be here to listen today. What I'd like to talk to you guys about is what the Elite program is, why we have it, why it's so important, all that stuff. So what we had here at Beachbody is we had these coaches that were just like off the chain, like blowing things up. Things were amazing. And we were like, okay, we want that for everybody else over here, right? So what we did is we looked at what those coaches were doing, right? What are these guys doing that's making this so amazing? And then we kind of reverse engineered what they were doing and came up with like a roadmap for everybody else to get there. And what it really boils down to is 3 major things, you know. There's benchmarks. First of all, let me say the first benchmark is you need to advance your business. You know, you need to be adding diamonds. So we want to recognize the people who get their business to 5-star. So that's the first thing. And if you're like already at 5-star, you have to at least advance 2 new 5-stars this year. So you can't just like reach 5-star, rest on your laurels and stop working, right? And then after that, you need 135 elite points. And that's really like the most crucial portion of how you're advancing your business and how that all works. So let me first say, like, hitting elite is fantastic, but even if you're not going to hit elite this year, and pushing towards elite is a huge deal for you guys, right? So it's like you're pushing in the right direction. It's almost like the whole saying of you shoot for the stars, and if you miss, or you shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you're still amongst the stars type of a thing. So how you earn elite points first starts with Success Club points. And it's not your Success Club points, it's actually the Success Club points for your personally sponsored coaches. So if you guys don't mind, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up the Elite Goal Guide for you. And if you do have anything to take notes with right now, I would recommend that you write down the FAQ number 945, okay? 945 is going to be basically where you can find the Elite Goal Guide, where you can find all the information about Elite, everything like that. So let me share screens, and you guys will be able to see the Elite Goal Guide that I'm talking about right here. Can you guys see this okay? And I can't see you guys for some reason. We're having like hashtag first world problems right now with Zoom. Can I get, you guys see it all right? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the Elite Goal Guide really quick, pull it up so you guys can see it. All right, so in this example, you can see here that this coach has 4 of their PS coaches from this year or last year that they recruited this year or last year that hit Success Club. So that gives them 4 elite points, all right? In the title here, we'll just read it. It says, earn 1 elite point each time your 2015 or 2016 PS coaches qualify for Success Club 5 or 10. Qualify for, if you qualify for Success Club 5 or 10 in the same month, your elite points for this category are doubled for that month. So this coach had 4 of their PS coaches from this year or last year hit Success Club. Hey, you know, this coach themselves hit Success Club as well. So the points from their PS coaches doubled, giving them 8 points. So really what we want to focus on doing is helping you help other people, right? And if you look at it this way, if you look at, I'm going to stop share for some really quick here so I can get back with you guys. If you look at it this way, look at yourself as like a pebble that you drop into a pond, right? As you drop that pebble into a pond, that pebble is going to make ripples in the water. And that's like your effect on society, right? And what we're really all about here at Beachbody is making real differences in people's lives, helping them live healthier, more fulfilling lives, all of that stuff. So if you were a personal trainer, you'd be able to work with like maybe 8 people a day, and you'd have like your entire day completely full. But as a Beachbody coach, the beautiful thing is you can, sign new coaches up, train those coaches, help those coaches, and those coaches go out and help more people, and they recruit other coaches as well. And then your influence that you've had on society is all of a sudden humongous. I mean, it's just ginormous. Like Trey Bear was a personal trainer before. He could hardly afford to keep the lights on. Now he's an elite coach, and he's doing an amazing job, and he's really maximizing how many people he's been able to help. So as you help your coaches help other people, that's what we're really pushing for here. So you want to track how many of your PS coaches are hitting Success Club each month. So that's the first thing, right? For getting points. The next category is called PSPV. And what that really is like the coaches you've personally sponsored from 2016, and all of their volume is going to go into like one big pot, right? And each time they sell a challenge pack, that volume is going to go into that pot. And each time that cumulative volume from all of your 2016 coaches hits a quantity of 500 points, you're going to get 1 elite point for that, right? So the way you get more elite points in that category is you recruit more coaches and you help those coaches hit Success Club again. So that's just another reason why, category 1 is so important for you. And what I want you guys to all really understand is it's all about being an elite team. It's about an elite team. You guys can't do it yourselves, right? If your team isn't rank advancing, you can't hit 5-star. If your team isn't selling challenge packs, you don't get elite points in the first category. If they're not ordering, you don't get elite points in the second category, right? So it's all about being an elite team. So if I was you, what I would talk to your team about is goals, of hitting Success Club and really helping other people. And what I like to focus on, honestly, guys, I like to focus on the actions that get you the results, not necessarily the result themselves. Has anybody here felt like before that when you talk to your team about Success Club, like they kind of look like a deer in the headlights? They're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that type of a thing. The fear comes a lot of times when the unknown is introduced into people's world. The unknown or the uncontrollable to them is scary. That's what makes it hard. But if you basically focus on what you can control, then you can start influencing where things are going, right? So what you can control in my mind looks like how many people you reached out to on a daily basis. How many connections have you made? How many conversations have you had? How many follow-ups have you done? Invites, all of those things. So if we were to boil it down to like where the rubber really meets the road with recruiting and helping people hit Success Club, all of that stuff, it is about connections. And I like to measure 4 different metrics in connecting. One is just how many new people have you added to your network today, right? That's a big one. After that, it's how many conversations have you had with those new people, or maybe somebody you haven't touched base with in a long time. It doesn't even necessarily have to be about Beachbody coaching, but it's developing and cultivating maybe a relationship with somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, or maybe you don't know very well. So after that, it's the invites. After you've kind of cultivated that relationship and you've kind of got that common ground established again, then you've got your invites. Then you have your follow-ups, right? So those are the things that I like to track. And it's important to continue following up with people, guys. Honestly, when they say the fortune is in the follow-up, it's totally, totally true. If you look at the networks on TV, you're watching NBC, ABC, CBS, any of those major networks, any TV show, whatever it is, you have commercials that come on all the time, right? And the people that they're paying millions of dollars for this primetime commercial spot. And you know what? They know in their mind that that's just going to be the first chop of the tree. They know you're not going to go down and buy like a Honda Civic just because you saw one commercial. They know you're going to have to see more and more and more. Or maybe you're not going to go to the Nike store and buy new shoes. They have to have multiple contacts, multiple invites, multiple interactions with you before you actually say, you know what? Yeah, I am going to go buy those Nike shorts or those Nike shoes. And it's the same way with your business, right? If you just do one invite with your potential prospects, they might say, you know what, I don't think coaching is right for me right now. But I can promise you this, they're going to feel good about themselves that you invited them to coach. Because people are going to be like, wow, I can't believe that Molly thought that I would be like a great Beachbody coach. You know what I mean? And they're going to, it's a complimentary thing to say, you know, they might say no, but it is a nice thing, and that's going to stew in their mind for a while. They're going to be like, no, maybe she is right. I don't know. That'd be cool. It'd be nice. I see she works from home all the time, you know, and they're going to be thinking about all this stuff as they see your posts. But if you never invite them again, it's not, you know, you're not going to see the results you're really looking for. So it's, the fortune really is in the follow-up. And what I'm going to challenge you guys to do is identify how many of those conversations you're having on a daily basis. Okay. How many follow-ups are you doing? How many invites are you doing? How many people are you adding to your network? So those 4 things are really important. So write down how many of those you're going to do a day and push yourself. Okay. With this elite thing, or with the premier thing, with all of that in your business, the change happens when you're pushing yourself, right? And you're getting yourself out of your comfort zone. If you're not stretching, if you're not pushing, more than likely you're not going to see the results you're looking for really quick. I like to think about Sir Isaac Newton. And Sir Isaac Newton says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So if you're not taking any action with your Beachbody coaching, if you're not doing these action-oriented items on a daily basis, what is the reaction you expect to have to take place? Probably not much, because there's not much effort being put into it, right? So I'm going to challenge you guys to really stretch yourselves there. And as you do those things, you're going to recruit more and more and more coaches. And as you recruit more coaches, you're going to have a bigger pipeline of coaches that can potentially hit Success Club. And hitting Success Club, like I said, it's just all about helping others help other people. And the beauty about all of this stuff is that as you've done these things and you've connected with other people, you've invited them to be a challenger, or you've invited them to be a coach, as you're doing those 4 things we talked about, I promise you they'll work for you. What it is it's basically like a formula. You know, when you have 2 + 2 = 4, right? And if you do X amount of invites and you do all these types of things, then the result is going to be this. And it will work for you, I promise. But I believe that you have to lead by example with your team, right? You have to really show them what it takes. And if you're not doing those things, then your team's not going to do them. But as it's worked for you, you'll have a lot more confidence in prescribing these types of behaviors for your team. And as they push forward, you're going to really see the results in their businesses as well. So that's where I'd really start off with. But what I'd like to do is just ask. I'd like to kind of get a feel for who we have here on the call with us today. So Molly, you know, where are you at in your business right now? Like, how are things going with you?
I just started, actually.
Nice.
I'm on, I think, week 3. So I'm just trying to get the hang of things and trying to get into a daily routine of when I'm getting stuff done and talking to people. And I have 2 little boys, so I'm home with them too. So
routine is so crucial. You know, if you can lock that routine in and find a place where you can fit, you know, squeeze maybe an hour or so in to do your power hour, at least during that time. And then the rest of the day, you know, I know how it is with kids. Sometimes you need to split things up, but your routine is going to be perfect. Because in all honesty, it's all about consistency, just like fitness, right? If you're consistently eating clean and you're consistently doing your workouts, you're going to have consistent positive results, right? So that's good. Miranda, how about you? Who are you at with your business right now?
Hi, sorry, I just jumped back on after chasing my kids. But I actually just turned diamond ring today. So I'm super excited about that. And then other than that, I really have one rockstar coach that I'm super excited about that already has about almost halfway to diamond. And her goal is definitely to get it by the end of the year as well. So fully know what we're talking about, but I assume goals, and
Yeah.
and mine is definitely to get to 2-star by the end of the year. So
Cool.
things are starting to finally like snowball, which is good. I feel like I went through my 6-month lull, and now I'm back on the up and up. So
Fantastic. No, I love that. That's great. I'm not sure if the others are able to jump on or not, but I just kind of wanted to get a feel for who we had on the call, who's jumping on and what's going on in your business. What I will say to you guys as you start pushing yourselves and doing these contacts, doing these connections, doing these invites, follow-ups, all of that stuff, I'm going to invite you guys as well to find some sort of a follow-up system, whether that's TeamZ, whether that's Google Streak, whatever system that is. It's so important because really, if you just do, like I said, one invite, it's going to usually not respond or result in what you're looking for. And it's really hard if you're adding like 5 to 10 new people to your network every day to keep track of where all these people are going, right? What is happening with these guys? It's like, well, I invited Tiffany like 3 months ago and then I forgot about her and nothing really happened, right? So TeamZ, Google Streak, they're going to be great because you can put somebody inside that program and it'll tell you when you're supposed to follow up with that person. You know what I mean? So look up, there's all sorts of YouTube tutorials on TeamZ and Google Streak. TeamZ is spelled Teamzy, TeamZ. And then Google Streak is like Google and then streak, like as if you're streaking in the stadium or something. So those are going to be super helpful for you guys. I promise they're going to be good. It will take some work at first. And one thing I want you guys to be aware of as well is this is not a direct result type of a business, right? So you guys could go in and put 12 hours of work into this tomorrow, and you might not see immediate challengers or immediate coaches. That might not happen, right? Because like I said, a lot of it's in the follow-up, and it takes some time for these seeds that you're planting in people to grow and to begin to sprout. So what I want you guys to do is just stay consistent. Stay consistent with how many people you're reaching out with all of those things. And as you do, I promise you the results will happen. I can promise you that. It doesn't happen immediately like we would like it to sometimes. It's almost like these people who go to the gym at the beginning of the year and they're like, you know what? This is my year. This is going to happen. Super excited. And they work out hard and they eat clean. And they give it like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But in 2 or 3 weeks, like how big of a physical change can you really have, right? I mean, you're not going to see like huge changes. And that's what they're looking for. So when they don't see those immediate large changes, they just quit. And what they don't understand is if they had just kept going with those same behaviors, maybe a month and a half, 2 months, then they'd start seeing real results, right? And it's the same way with coaching, guys. Like, you do have to pay your dues at the beginning. There's no question about it. I look at it almost like my brother he's an airline pilot. And I remember when he got a job there, I was looking at like airline pilots' average salaries. And I'm like, dude, you're going to be making huge money. And it was like, no. He was making like $40,000 a year and he was away from his family like all of the time. And it was because he was a co-pilot. And co-pilots had to work their way up through the ranks in the co-pilot seat, and then eventually they could become captain. And once you become captain, that's when the amazing, income starts happening and all that stuff. As you get more seniority, your schedule was better, all of that. And it's going to be the same with you guys. In the beginning, you're going to put a lot of work into it, and the ball will be rolling in the right direction. You just have to hold your chin up and know that you're going to get there. Have faith that where you're going now is going to lead you where you want to go, right? So do you guys have any questions about building your business? I'd kind of like to open it up to a Q&A. Does anybody have any questions about, some things you might be struggling with or anything that you might like some tips on, anything like that? You guys don't need to be shy. If you are, that's fine. If you don't have any questions, that's cool too. But one of the things that I think...
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We have a few newer coaches on here who I just asked what's been your biggest, we talk about Success Club and your biggest, the feedback that you're getting as to why they're not purchasing. And of course, we hear cost a lot, but I'd just be curious to know how you would talk about the cost of Shakeology and of the fitness programs.
So really, what I'm going to really say here is being a product of the product, that vital behavior is huge for you guys, right? Because if you don't believe it, there's no way you can get other people to do it, right? So one of the things that brought me over to Beachbody, I was working at another job, and a friend of mine invited me to apply here, and he's like, I think it would be great, come and apply. And I was like, well, I don't know. And he's like, just come to Super Saturday. Come to Super Saturday and check it out. So I did, and the results were just nuts. I couldn't believe how much weight people had lost. It was just crazy to see the people in the audience. The MC was like, raise your hand if you lost over 30 pounds. And like most of the audience more than half of the audience raised their hands. And it really surprised me how real the results were. And that change in people's life is so amazing. I mean, people funnel crazy amounts of money into liposuction, all this other stuff to change their body. And it's like, you know what? In my eyes, I look at it this way. I like this quote. I don't know who it's from, but you're not going to change until the pain of your life outweighs the pain of change, right? So if these people are like, I don't really care. Once they realize that the product works well and they see with their own eyes that it's worked for you, and you're expressing confidence in the product and it works, then it's all about perceived value, right? A lot of times it's not that they don't have the money, it's just that it's not a priority for them, or they don't know if the value's there. They're worried they're going to get swindled, right? So what I would do is I would totally talk to people about the money back guarantee. You know what I mean? That's a big one for the Shakeology. It's like, we know this product is so good, we're willing to give you your money back if you don't like it. I mean, how many companies are willing to do that? Not a lot. And also, if they see the change in your life and the other people that you're dealing with, they're going to see the value, right? So being a product of the product is a huge portion of it. And honestly, it really doesn't boil down to that much if you think about how much it is on a daily basis. It really isn't that much, the amount of money that they're spending on their junk food or on cigarettes or whatever it is usually more than that. So it's just a matter of finding the people that want to make positive changes in their life. Like, again, that whole pain of their life has to outweigh the pain of change for them. And as they see the value that you've seen in it, they're gonna go forward without having as much trepidation, right? A lot of people will look at it and they'll say no for a long time until they've seen it over and over and over and over again, through your challenge groups and through the people you've worked with. And then at some point they're going to be like, why didn't I call Miranda like last year? Because Tiffany's already got amazing results. You know what I mean? And they'll jump on board, and it might not have been the first time you've asked them, but like I said, just stay persistent about what you're posting and what you're doing, and you can show them. Just be the product of the product, and you'll for the cost. I wouldn't worry about that. And you're going to get no's along the way. It's just the way that it goes, right? You have to be okay with getting no's and not let that discourage you or get you down, because a lot of times it's not they don't want to, it's just they're not sure again. It's change in people's lives is scary. So just stay consistent, and you'll see a lot of those people come around. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, that's really great. One other thing that I was thinking about is a lot of us, I think, struggle with that point when you've been going back and forth with people, and at some point you just have to make the ask, right? Like, you have to get past your fear of of that, just that question. But with health and fitness, it can also be a little bit tricky because you don't want to, project that they need help or something like that. So how would you word that? What are your thoughts on that?
There's multiple thoughts that I have on that one. And one of the things I think is important is to always, when you're posting, you have to pass your posts that you're doing on Facebook by the 3 E's. So the 3 E's are engage, entertain, and educate. So if your posts are fun and they're kind of you, they have to be about you and totally your personality. Then that's going to attract the right people, right? As they're educational, people will be like, oh wow, I didn't know that. That's great, and it's going to pull them in even more, right? And as you are engaging them, you're asking them to take action. So you're asking them to connect with you. Like, okay, so if you like this recipe, post your favorite clean eating recipe below. And then all of a sudden you see all these people come out of the woodwork that you didn't know were into fitness that you could talk to about coaching, or you could talk to about challenge groups, or you're creating this like a bridge from, I don't know if I should talk to you about this or not, to, okay, we already have common ground here and now we can connect. Right now we've got some like stuff that we know we're both passionate about. And you can even jump as well straight to what you're doing in coaching and let them know how awesome it is and how you think that they'd be good at it. But for them to understand what it's like, that you think it would be awesome for them to be in a challenge group, and that way they're not offended. They're not like, what are you calling me fat? And if you're posting out there, if you're being vulnerable and you're letting them know that you guys aren't all super women and you have, things you struggle with, or you have journeys that you're on as well, as they see that you're putting yourself out there, they will cling to you. They'll jump on that ship with you because they know you're headed in the right direction and you're sharing some of the similar struggles in life. Because let's face it, like, I don't care who you are or what your fitness is like, there's always something you could be working on. Right. If you're Autumn Calabrese, if you're Sagi, if you're Tony Horton, whatever. If you talk to any of those guys, I bet you anything they have goals of things that they're trying to push for, So we're all on this journey together, and we have to just make sure that we're relatable with people. And then also that we're opening the door for people too, because I talked with a coach one time that had a friend that was into a fitness thing, and she was inviting all of these other people. And she was like, I was really offended that my friend didn't invite me to be part of this fitness thing that they were doing together. And it was like another company, and it's interesting to think about it that way, because a lot of people you ask may say no, but some people that you haven't asked are dying for you to do that. You know what I mean? And you're never going to know unless you've asked them. Right. So, you got to knock on that door, and who knows, they might just let you in. Right. And if they say no, you're trying to help people, right? You can't let the haters get you down. You really can't. You've got to move forward. I like to think about some of the greatest inventors in the United States, like Thomas Edison. He created the light bulb, right? And you think, well, it's not a big deal, but it really was. Like, all of a sudden, like, people are able to work all day long, and when the light goes down, you can actually still stay busy and continue working. And that led to all sorts of other advancements in our country. But he had 2,000 prototypes that failed, right? He had to just keep pushing all the time, and he didn't get discouraged. He stayed consistent. He knew what he was doing was going to be the right steps for him, was going to lead to something great. And you guys have to have that faith that as you're stretching yourselves, because it's going to hurt, right? I mean, how many of you guys are doing a program right now? I just did Body Beast yesterday, and my legs are killing me right now. But the pain that you feel from this growth and this stretching and all this stuff just means that you're growing. I mean, tell me one time in life when you've really grown, whether it's mentally, physically, any of those things, when it's just been completely comfortable. It's not. It isn't. Like when you're growing, it's testing. It tries you. And that's just a sign that you're headed in the right direction. Anything worth doing is usually difficult, right? But what I can tell you is that as you've gotten this ball rolling and you've set up a great team, and you've helped coaches really help other people, the results will happen. We know our products work. There's no question about that, right? So when you talk to somebody about being a challenger, or you talk to somebody about being a coach, it's like, no, we know this works. You don't have to be apologetic about, hey, can you do me a favor? I've got, like, hey, I'm trying to grow my business. It's like, no, like they're lucky to be part of this endeavor that we're doing. And we have to just kind of step back and remember, like, okay, we've got amazing products that really can change people's lives. And if you're, willing to put effort into it, you can have amazing results as if you stay consistent. I mean, when I came to this company, I was shocked about how much coaches were making. I was like, are you kidding me? It's like unholy amounts of money that some of these guys have made because they've really been able to help a lot of people. Lindsay Matway says that, I like this quote. She says something like, the amount of money that you receive or the amount of revenue that you get through Beachbody is a direct result of the amount of people that you've been able to help, right? So as long as we focus on that, it's really awesome because you can work from home. You have a lot of freedom that other people might not be able to have, and you get to help people and really increase you can become a better person both physically and mentally along the way as well. So how many opportunities do you really have where you can do that? I don't know, but Beachbody surely is one of them. Any other questions you guys have? All right. Well, guys, I like I said, if you follow this formula of stretching yourself and reaching out and connecting with more people every day and sending these invites and staying consistent about following up with people, the results will come. Just give it time, just like the New Year's resolution person. Don't give up just because you're not seeing immediate results in 2 or 3 weeks. Give it, if you give this thing a full year and you've done these things consistently on a daily basis, you will get the results, okay? And just have your team focus on doing the same things. If they do the same things, they're focusing, they're digging deep, and they're pushing with the amount of people they're connecting and helping every day, they're going to grow as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know as well. I'd love to be able to see how many of those things you guys are going to, test yourself to do on a daily basis. So this, and what I'm referring to again is how many connections you're making, how many new friends you're adding, how many conversations you've had on a daily basis where you've been able to cultivate your relationship with people, how many invites you've done, and how many follow-ups you've done. So those 4 things, I'd love to see what you're doing on a daily basis. So send those over to me, and I'd love to follow up with you in like 2 months, and we'll see how what the fruits of your labors have been. Right? I promise you, if you stay consistent, you're going to see results. So Joe R. Cardon, if you're not friends on Facebook, shoot me those things. I'd love to see it, and I promise I'll follow up with you in 2 months from now. All right? Well, Amber, sorry that we were having some technical difficulties there earlier. I'm just glad it worked out. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for being patient with me. No, we're real excited. I told our team it's really special that we have a connection to you because you see it all and you can just give us so many awesome resources. So every week after I talk to you, I'm like, this is what Joe said today. This is what we need to do. So it's just awesome. So thank you for all that you do because you help us so much. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. It's wonderful to be here with you. I just feel lucky I get to work with people like you every day. So this is a great deal. I'm looking forward to see what you guys have, like you intrepid individuals. I'm looking forward to see what you send me. And like I said, I will follow up with you guys and keep pushing forward, guys. This is going to be a bright thing for you if you stay consistent. So thanks for having me on the call, and we'll catch you guys later. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.